This is a pause here on Joy News, and this afternoon we are here in the office of the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister, Ampratwum-Sarpong. Now, the issue has to do more with the recent increment in passport fees and the reaction that came along with it. There's also been reaction from Parliament, the NDC minority. They made it clear the position they've taken on this matter and what they intend doing when Parliament is back in session. But the Minister is here with me here to walk us through the process leading up to the proposal to have the fees increased. And he's going to tell us more about this. Honorable, you're welcome to Joy News.
Thank you very much, Elton, for this opportunity. And
interestingly, I'm just next door to your constituency of Mampon in Ashanti region. I can virtually walk from my hometown to Mampon, my hometown of Insuta.
Yes, 3 miles away.
Yeah, just 3 miles away.
In 45 minutes walking, you'll be there.
Right.
Yes.
So it's good to have you on Joy News.
Thank you.
So you took the decision to review the fees for passports. What went into deciding on this increment?
Okay. The decision was actually, thank you for the opportunity to present the case about and around the upward review of the passport fees, and there were others which are consular charges.
Right.
The ministry, led by the Honorable Minister Shirley Ajweko-Botwe, took the decision that the time was ripe for an upward review of certain fees and charges that the ministry wants to charge as passport fees and consular fees specifically. We should also have the view that the time has come for us to take the bull by the horn and to charge a sustainable and a realistic price commensurate with how much it costs to produce a passport. It costs 400 Ghana cedis to produce one passport.
For the 32 page?
For the 32 page. And we all this while have been selling it, let me put it that way, for 100 Ghana cedis.
Meaning it was highly subsidized?
Highly subsidized. No serious business person would do that. You go and buy something for 400 Ghana cedis and come and sell it for 100 Ghana cedis. Doesn't make sense. This has been on the drawing board for a very long time. And many ministers have come to pass, and they have shied away, taking the bull by the horn, taking the tough and hard decision to make sure that we pay the realistic price, the market price for the acquisition of passport, and also to do comparables with what happens within the West African sub-region. For starters, Ghana's passport is the lowest in the whole West Africa region. The second lowest, strangely, is Liberia.
This was before the increment?
Yes, Liberia. And even with the increment, it will still remain the lowest. Even with the increment, it will still remain the lowest. Because Liberia was charging $40, and currently theirs is under review. Our 500 is coming around the $40 region, right? Now, the supplier of Liberian passport is the same supplier of Ghana passport. So we in Liberia go to the same market to buy the same passport. And then they sell theirs for 40 and we are selling ours for $7 or $8. It doesn't make sense. But like I said, over 10 years we've stayed with it, everybody has shied away from it. And we've come to a point where we are more or less being strangulated. Funds or monies that are supposed to use at the main ministry here is being used to subsidize passports.
But why was it so that you would spend 400 Ghana cedis to procure a passport and then sell it to the holder at 100 Ghana cedis?
It's like the noise that is currently
to make it so available to everybody.
Well, the noise that currently is being made, we are selling
we'll come to that.
We were moving to 500, and there is a bit of noise from some quarters where it is expected. I mean, as for that, there is no way. Even if we decide to reduce the price, there will be some people who will not, reaction positive or negative. But we had to do it because we thought we got into a place where it was not sustainable for the ministry to move money from running the main ministry to continue subsidizing passports. It wasn't sustainable. We were having serious challenges at the main ministry. We were even thinking of cutting back on the services that we were providing at the main ministry here in order to be able to subsidize passport.
Meaning the budgetary allocation that Parliament approved for the ministry, part of it went into subsidizing passports.
Exactly.
For the holder.
That is what is happening. And the problem too is that because we are paying this 100 Ghana, it has been impossible for us to invest in the acquisition, the production and acquisition of passports. So passport office will lack a lot of equipment. Now we've got digitalization. So there's a whole range of equipment, whatever that needs to be done. Computers we can't buy, the capturing machines we can't buy, the printers we can't buy, we can't afford. To the extent that, Elton, as we speak right now, if you go and make an application for passport and you want a booking for your biometrics, you will get it in December. Because we're here to clear the backlog. Because we don't have the capturing machines to be able to capture. So you go in today, you get December. And I can tell you, if you go in next week, it might be next year. It might be next year.
We'll come back to deal whether the increment will help address the backlog. But the 500 Ghana cedis that you are charging presently for the 32 booklet, is it full cost recovery?
It is full cost recovery. The 400 will make us possible to pay for the full cost of it. At least the 100, you need some little profit to be able to use that to reinvest. 400 is covering everything.
Right.
Now you need a little bit of excess to be able to buy certain things, to reinvest it, to improve things to do, right, in the acquisition process. And moreover, in 6 months' time, we'll be introducing what we call chip-embedded passport, which is a requirement of the International Civil Aviation Authority, ICAO, based in Canada. ICAO has asked all countries to make sure that they migrate onto the chip-embedded passport.
Meaning the passport I'm holding now
is what we call biometric. It's a biometric passport.
So the biometric might have to undergo some kind of upgrade.
Well, it's going to upgrade. A new one will be introduced in 6 months' time.
You're going to phase out the biometric
We will
passport.
phase that one, but it is not going to be immediate. When we bring in the chip-embedded, both passports can be used for a period of about a year or even more, right? So still you have the biometric, you can use it until maybe a year or a year and a half or 2 years time. We are yet to decide on that. When you decide
when you want to move to the
chip embedded. Now we are priced this thing in such a way that when we introduce the chip embedded, there will be no need to do an increase. It will all stay the same. At least that 100 extra, okay, will be able to take care of the extra cost of introducing the chip embedded. The chip embedded costs more.
Right.
But even if we introduce it, we will still be able to charge the same 500 Ghana and to be able to break even and to be able to operate without any or too much challenges or difficulties.
So if I get you, what this new increment, the 500 Ghana cedi, for example, satisfies you completely?
It does, completely. And at least it brings us nearer to what is happening within the sub-region. Right? The figures, for example, Benin is charging $50. For a passport.
That's like 600 Ghana cedis.
Burkina charges $80, which is about $960. That's 60 Ghana cedis.
Right.
Cameroon charges $180. That is about 2,160. Ivory Coast, our next door neighbor, charges $123, which is roughly about 1,500 thereabout. The Gambia charges $50 for a passport. Guinea charges $57. Guinea-Bissau charges $65. Mali $91. Nigeria $54. Sierra Leone $100. Togo $50. Liberia $40 lowest. Ghana $7 or $8.
But now it has moved to almost $40.
Now we are getting there. So we are getting closer to even the Liberia with the second lowest. And the Liberia one is currently under review. Liberia is looking to review. So while the lowest is looking to review its passport upwards, we are now doing the catch-up, right? And the catch-up, there's a bit of a backlog. But I know Ghanaians at the end of the day will see reason and wisdom in what we are trying to do. Of course, the bottom line is we want to increase or improve service delivery. At the moment, we are not comfortable or happy with the level of service that we are providing. Yes, we have to be very honest about it.
We'll deal with that, but even as you make us understand that even with the new increment, we are still paying the lowest in the sub-region.
Yes.
The minority, the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, says, I mean, looking at the prevailing economic conditions in the country, 500 Ghana cedis appears to him to be on the higher side, even though he does admit that there's a need for an increment. And then when you met the select committee, the recommendation that came forth was that you should stagger it such that the increment should be on a gradual basis. What is your reaction to this?
Well, Sammy is professionally good at playing to the gallery. He likes playing to the gallery. Why? The last 1 year, I have engaged Sammy about 4 or 5 times on this very matter. I've done extensive engagement before this thing came out. I've engaged Sammy. I have engaged the NDC previous leadership, that is Haruna Drusu. I met Haruna Drusu about 2 or 3 times on this matter. I shared with him all the information.
So the discussions didn't start today?
No. It's been going over a year. The same thing apart with Sammy. The same, I've shared that with him. The current crop of leadership of the NDC, I have had engagements with them that look, this is where we are. And they've all said it is not sustainable. The figures we have, my brother, no way. This upward review is very, very necessary. We can't continue to stay at where we are. Yes, it is true that we did mention it to the Foreign Affairs Committee, that at a certain point, we will be introducing or we will be asking for an upward review. We will go through the processes. But it is not the Foreign Affairs Committee's responsibility in this particular matter.
Yeah, because this was
fees and charges. It is not Foreign Affairs Committee. So when Honorable Okudzeto goes on and on and on and on, it is not true.
That's the recommendation was that you
it is not true.
There was no such recommendation.
Because it is not coming before the Foreign Affairs Committee.
This was an ally that went through the 21 days maturation period.
No. You see, I'll tell you the process, Elton. When we mooted the idea, it has been on the drawing board, like I said, for the past 10 years. Just that ministers and politicians haven't had the balls to actually introduce it. Until my minister decided that the time was up, we are being strangulated, and we need to do something about it. Otherwise, we might have to shut passport office. Now, we have to make, the law requires that when you want to make changes on your fees and charges, you prepare your memorandum and then you take it to the Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance has a unit that will do all its necessary due diligence to make sure that what you are asking for actually is appropriate. Then from there, a joint presentation is then made to Parliament. Then the Speaker will decide which committee. And normally, when it's fees and charges, it is the subsidiary legislation. The subsidiary legislation, as presently constituted, is chaired by Dr. Dominic Ayeni.
A member on the NDC side.
A member on the NDC side and the MP for Boko East. So he went to the committee. The committee invited our officers to come and make our case, bring the background documents, whatever. They can also get people, researchers, consultants to go in and investigate and see if what we have brought is appropriate and justified, or what they have to do, either reduce it, whatever. So that happened. At that committee level, it was an unanimous decision, not one dissenting voice.
When it came to the increment?
When it came to, yes, the discussion on the increment or the review, the whole subsidiary legislation committee of, I think it's 10 MPP, 10 NDC or somewhere. The whole committee unanimously approved it.
Right.
Agreed. It wasn't the decision of the chair. Neither was it only the minority or the majority that decided. The whole membership in attendance on that day agreed that yes, they have to approve it and recommend it to Parliament for approval. So they agreed and they recommended it and brought it to the floor of Parliament for a debate. When the report came for Parliament for a debate, at the end of the debate, the whole parliamentary session in attendance that day, unanimously, not one dissenting voice, agreed that these fees and charges be implemented.
Right.
So he went through LI, legislative instrument, and delayed for 21 days, and eventually, together with other fees and charges that were in the working, were approved. So we had no other option, because if we don't implement it, we can be sanctioned.
Right.
Right. So we decided that 1st April, yesterday, will be the implementing date. So that is the process that we went through.
That is gone through.
So people sitting somewhere saying, I did this, I did that, and I'm going to go to Parliament, and that, it is hoofing and puffing.
But again,
if he wants to come, I'll meet him on the floor of Parliament.
Right. So, Honorable, beyond the legalities that nobody is faulting you for, his other concern is that this is going to put extra hardship on the Ghanaian, and for that reason, he will make formal approach for the minister and yourself to appear before the committee with a view to review what has become law now. Is this something that you are willing to consider?
Well, if he wants us to come to the committee, we will respect the committee. We will appear before the committee. We will repeat or rehash the reasons behind the request and the approval given by Parliament of the passport fees. That one, yes. But as to whether this little threat, whatever, it is not going to happen. Take it from me.
You are not going to review it.
It will not happen. These figures, with the support of majority of Ghanaians, it has come to stay. There's nothing he can do about it. He can make his noise out there. That's why nobody challenges him. If he wants to bring it to the committee, to Parliament, we will meet him on the floor of Parliament. We will discuss it, we will debate it, and at the end of the day, I can bet my last cedi, he will fall flat on his face.
How does this address the backlog at the passport office?
Right. The reason why we are introducing this, like I said, principally is the fact that we need to invest and improve service delivery. With it being possible for us to start charging these new fees, we will not need the subsidy. We will rather have money to be able to invest, to buy the equipment, the machinery, the printers, and whatever other stuff that we need to be able to give the the excellent service that have been our agenda to do. With the cash revenue flow, it will become possible for us to approach the suppliers of these equipment and materials and whatever that we need in our work. So once we get more computers, once we get more laminating machines, once we get more capturing machines, we'll be able to capture more biometrics. And therefore, this 6 months, 7 months, or 8 months appointment days will be reduced and eventually be in a very containable situation. At the moment, it's out of control. Out. Because we don't have the capturing machines.
We have the machine.
We do have some, but it's not enough.
The capacity is very low.
Capacity is very low, and that is what is causing this uncontrollable dates that is happening. Now, if we have money, or if the money starts coming in the next month or two, when the revenue flow is increasing, our cash flow is good, we have a plan in place. While we approach, like I said, the suppliers This is our money. Now you see we have money coming in. Give us the machine right now. We are not going to wait till we accumulate, but we say give us the machines so that we can start improving the service, and then with the revenue flow we'll be able to meet our financial obligations to you. But same applies to when we get to the passport printers. Because right now, passport printing book is taking about 8-10 months to about a year.
Yes, exactly. And
then when things starts getting out of control, as it is going, deteriorating, and we don't arrest it, it is going to take about 2 years for somebody to get their passport. Because the capturing of the biometrics alone takes you about 8 months. Then when it comes to the printing itself, because we have challenges with the printer, right? Because at the moment of digitalization, passport applications in a day is about 5,000 minimum. 5,000.
5,000 you're printing a day?
5,000. No.
5,000 applications.
Applications coming in
across the country.
Across. We are able to print maximum after stretching ourselves 3,000
out of the 5,000.
So every day
there's a backlog of 2,000.
A week 10,000. So 1 month 40,000. As we speak, we have 70,000 there.
70,000
sitting there backlog.
And
because we don't have the printer.
And even as you are charging the new fees, if you want to look at the timeliness of it, it's going to take us months, if not years, to clear the entire backlog.
We have a plan, like I said.
What's the plan?
With the revenue flow, okay, what we are looking at doing in the next couple of days, we intend starting, is we were going to have 2 teams for both the capturing and the printing. So the first team will do the normal working hours, okay, do the capturing. Then the second team will come in and then start to work to reduce the backlog that is sitting there, okay? And we are also starting a phone call process, okay, call center, that will be calling people who, even though have been given some distant dates, when we call you and ask you, is it possible for you to come on such and such a date for your capturing, and you are able to, then we ask you to come, and then we will do your capture. Through that, we will be bringing down the backlog of the capturing. Now, the same principle we are going to apply with the passport, or the printing. The first squad will come and do the normal printing during the normal working hours. And then the second squad will come in and then do the second batch. We're dealing with the backlog of cases that are there. Right. Now, that is using the current system.
The current system.
Now, we will all then be in a position also to buy new printers. And when we bring in the new printers, it means we'll be able to speed up clearing the backlog of printers, because our current printers will be there, right? We have some small printers. If I take you there and you see it, you will say, Ghana, party. Printers where the CC Hana, you are using it to print. Yes, that is what we have. But when we are able to, because we comfortable that we have money coming in, it will be easier to approach the supplier or the manufacturers.
But you should also be mindful of procurement, bottlenecks that you may face in terms of getting these printers in time to clear the backlog.
Well, all I'm saying is eventually you will get it.
Right.
Okay. As for the timeline, whether you have money now in abundance, you will never go and you pick it off the shelf. It is not off the shelf. You place the order, and then they will manufacture it for you. That is, so the timeline, fine. We play, if, for example, now we know that the cash flow is coming, Ghanaians have accepted it, the 500 is coming in, at least we'll be in a comfortable position to make an order. And when you make the order, you know you are not just paying it there and then. The manufacturer is going to tell you it's going to take maybe 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months to manufacture. So you know you have about 2 or 3 months to pull together your resources to go and settle. And with the stream of income by way of the payments, right, you will then be able to marshal your resources and be able to pay the supplier when it's delivery time. So we are quite comfortable that if we are able to sustain what we have introduced, it will make it possible for us to buy the equipment and with what we have put in place, improve the service delivery to Ghanaians. And moreover, you see, we believe that the number of passport acquisition is likely to go down. Reason being that until the introduction of digitalization and Ghana card, passport in most cases was the main form of ID card for Ghanaians. Now with the Ghana card coming on stream and the Ghana card now becoming the number one ID card in everything that you do, there will be no real and serious need for the ordinary Ghanaian to run to go for a passport. You will need it when you are having to travel outside Ghana. But see, my
understanding is that even for most countries, the Ghana card is accepted as
well, it is accepted when you are traveling from there to Ghana, right? Mm-hmm. But when you are traveling from Ghana to those countries, it will be difficult. Outside West Africa, you must have a passport because you are going to need a visa, and the visa will have to be in a passport. You can't have visa on the Ghana card. We haven't gotten there yet. Even those in the advanced economies, the EU countries, they have ID cards. The America has the ID card. Canada has ID card. You cannot use that to travel. Because yes.
Right. So even as you deal with the backlog, and the backlog that has existed for so many months, if not years, it has provided opportunity for some other individuals to exploit the system to their own advantage, to the extent that people are paying more than the 500, which Honorable Okoyeto
500 is
as too high. People are paying 2,000, 3,000 just to acquire a passport. Yes. So the desire is there.
It is there.
The unfortunate thing has always been that the service is not there for you to access it. So
that's very true.
In terms of this Goro addition into the acquisition of passport, how are you dealing with it?
Okay. When we get to the position of being able to improve service delivery properly, when we have the equipment, for example, the capturing, because there are bottlenecks, difficulties, and challenges along the way in getting dates for your capturing, right? The long hands of the devil have entered in there between outsiders and insiders, right? Goro boys outside and their inside accomplices.
And these are employees of the passport
office. Yeah, employees of the passport offices. They condone and connive and are able to manipulate things because of this shortage and because there is a market for it, right? Where there is no market, Goro will not happen. There is a market. People are getting 8 months appointments. The person wants this thing in a month. So what would the person do? Okay, a market is therefore created because of the inefficiency and as a result of the underinvestment and the lack of equipment. So Goro boys grow. Okay, now where we are able to have the bookings per what I have just described, and you apply and the booking gives you 2 weeks or whatever. Well, why do you go to a Goro boy for the Goro boy to charge you? 2, if we have printers and we are being able to print booklets, the passport, within the stipulated 21 days, why would you need a Guru person to come in and charge you 1,500, 2,000, and currently 3,000? Why? What for? You don't need it. But if it's going to take you 1 year to get your booklet, you will be looking for ways and means. And the Guru person will also find ways and means, right, in association with his son of the devil inside the passport office, and then do business. So when we do succeed with the increase in fees and are able to buy the equipment and the materials and the whatevers, we will be able to contain the situation. We will be able to reduce the activity of Goro boys. Eliminating it completely will be difficult. Is difficult. I have to be a realist. Will be difficult because when you have human beings, there's always the devil out there to tempt us,
trying to manipulate the system.
Yes.
But for your staff, for people who work under you and those on secondment who work at the passport office, what is your strategy working to deal with these individuals who have taken advantage of the laxity in the system to exploit it to their own advantage? The last time the minister went there, she threatened to transfer some people who had been there for more than the stipulated time.
Not threatened, we did. Those who had been there for more than
6 months.
6 months. Later on, she was a bit magnanimous and then extended it to 1 year. They were all transferred, right? The protocol arrangement, the passport office is not only membered by staff from Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In fact, our staff are in the list. All the security agencies have their staff or representatives or whatever there. The protocol arrangement originally was that they will be there for 6 months. And there are 6 months where we do changes. Unfortunately, we did not keep to the protocol. And we believe that it also contributed to the Goro business and the Goro activities all over. Because everybody who gets in there sees the passport office as a cash cow.
Right.
And therefore, we were trying to use the devil hands to do all kinds of stuff over there. So when the minister went last August, we moved them. And when we did the moving, the Guru activity actually came down. The price actually came down, no two ways. At least I can vouch for what happened at our party, at our headquarters, at Ridge, right? It came down. We intend to continue with it come next August. There will be
do another transfer.
No, we will do. Now we say we are going to enforce the protocol. And we have also done a staff rationalization over there to make sure that the right number of staff needed are the ones who will be there or be assigned or seconded by the various security agencies.
But when you say the right number, what is that?
Because sometimes what happens is certain numbers are flooded in there.
So you have more number of people working there.
It has been the case, more than necessary, right? You will want
Everybody wants to go to the passport office.
You want to do some time and motion to make sure that the people that you need, if it is 5, it is 5, not 7. And the 7 are hovering, 2 extra are hovering around there, and they're doing the in and out, whilst others are working. So they will go out and get the business and bring it in, and then they share it. Oh, there are all kinds of ways and means that they do the thing there. So we have done our homework. We've come to terms with certain things that we need to do. We're doing the staff rationalization. Come August, we are implementing it to the full. Making sure that the fire service are required to bring two. That's it.
Not more than a required
Not more than 2. Because when you come, there won't be space for you. We don't have space for you. And you won't get access. We don't need you. We'll send you back. And you can't force your way in there. It is Foreign Affairs that has allowed it, that protocol. Nobody can impose it.
Right.
There is no book or legal or administrative structure or whatever, or management structure that says that you have to be there.
Right.
It is for convenience that we think that passport office is a security zone. So if it's a security zone, let's bring on board the other security agencies to help in the work that we do there and to enhance the securityness of that particular office. So we are looking at all that, and it's all part of the package to try and improve service delivery over there. So we are on course, and we are hoping that Ghanaians will be understanding of what we have rolled out. And it's not a punitive thing that we want to do. It's just that we, excuse me for want of a better word, Ghanaians are having to pay for years of inaction, not increasing, successive, whatever. So I am begging that politics should be taken out of this. And those who want to play politics, it is not going to be helpful. The situation is sometimes, we find ourselves in some of these situations because our politics is so toxic, right? And so adversarial, that anything coming from party A, party B, will say, I will oppose it. It's just like this passport fees, I'm telling you. The consultation and engagement I have done in the last 1 year is unprecedented. And the ranking member of the Foreign Affairs who is making the noise that he's making, in a way, I am not too surprised that he's making that noise. It's a stock in trade. That everything that is coming out, he will want to have a say. He will want to oppose it. or say something, and as he tells me, I have to energize my base. I have to energize my base. So for the purposes of energizing his base, he has to be opposite or say something contrary or be seen to be. It is not progressive.
Just a quick question for those who are living abroad, Ghanaians who are living abroad, are they also paying the same or?
For each country abroad, each country has got its own fees.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is country specific, and we take into consideration the country's level of development. Some countries are high income countries.
So, for example,
some
UK,
are medium.
UK and the UK, how much are they paying?
UK, well, over the top of my head, honestly, I wouldn't want to give figures, but if I refer to my big document down there, I'll be able to tell you. We have every country the fees and charges for passport and consular services. We have all of them in there, and that is what we follow. Like I said, we have high income countries, medium income, and then low income countries. So you don't expect a low income country
to pay for
to be paying for the same thing as a high income country. No, that is not the case. We've tried to be fair and equitable in the fees and charges that we've rolled out.
Honorable, thank you very much for the explanation. And today is day one of the implementation of the new.
Day two.
Day two.
Today is the first working day. Yes.
And I'm guessing that there's not been any negative reaction to this, and everything's going.
I guess the way it started yesterday, Elton. Let me be fair. Yesterday was a heavy day for me. In fact, for about a period of about 6 hours.
We were just explaining.
I was sitting at one place with explanation, with phone calls from left, right, and center, even from my own party members and my party leadership. It wasn't easy. My minister was also being bombarded left, right, and center. We were there. Now today, with a lot of work, the explanation, the background information, the talking points that we put out, the justification, I can see that it is sinking in. Even on social media, the information that when people see the comparables, that in the whole West African region, Liberia 40, and they are reviewing it upwards, and we are 7. What have we done wrong?
Right. And
when the supplier is the same supplier, Abba, Ghana.
Okay. Let's end it here. The Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Member of Parliament for Mampong, Honorable Ampratwum-Sarpong, Ampratwum-Sarpong. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Alton.